Welcome to the Crimeycade podcast. And boy, she's already crashing the stream. She's going to beg for this chair that I'm sitting in a moment because that's what she does. Anyway, welcome in. Gonna get right to it because this is a roundtable episode, and I expect a lot of chatter, and it may go. It's gonna go kind of late into the night. So here we go. Last week, as I get the tabs moving around, our guest last week was Brett Weiss. He's the author of multiple classic home video game books, NES Omnibus. Among them, also the Kiss Encyclopedia. So, I think I got to everything I wanted to talk to him about last week. I will be seeing him at Midwest Gaming Classic in a few weeks and maybe doing a live interview with him. So, we'll see how that goes. If you are a gamer, and this is for future episodes, whoops, that was a little quick. Turn the wheel. That's what happened. Stop moving around, you silly slides. Anyway. Gamers Wanted. If you work in gaming, you're a touring competitor, you create content or have notoriety, or you're just a gaming fanatic, let's talk. Shoot me an email on facebook.com/Crimeycade or whisper on Twitch /rap_sheet. And be sure to follow me on Facebook or Twitch. And you can check out past episodes of the Crimeycade at tiny.cc/PWCI. And I have to do my weekly Beezer post. Will it reach the Goblin Ghost arcade floor? It certainly reached the floor at Winners and Losers. And sad news to pass along at the very beginning of this. As I try to get the information sheet up. Yoshida Kishimoto, Japanese video game developer, known primarily for his involvement with Technos Japan, and is known for Double Dragon, a couple of Laserdisc games like Cobra Command and Road Blaster. Worked for Day East also, and he this last game he created was actually Double Dragon 4 for consoles. Yeah, he's got a lot of games in his list. Super Dodgeball, Renegade. Of course, it's known by another name in Japan. WWF Superstars and WrestleFest. Yeah, WWE. Known for the some of the early WWE games. So, passed away at the age of 64, and he will be missed. I know. Doc Mack is a big fan of the Double Dragon series, not so much Double Dragon 3. Gee, I wonder if he had involvement. Yeah, he did, but just the NES version, not the arcade version. So, yesterday was National Arcade Day. Did you know that? I sure didn't. I didn't get to play many arcade games yesterday. In fact, very little arcade games. I did it last weekend at the Goblin Ghost, however. So, April the 8th is when that occurs. So, arcade tournaments are underway, and 2 of them are online. American Gear Company for the month of April, and I've entered this one. Submit arcade games. It's a free tournament there. There are 7 games. They added 2 a few days ago. So originally it was Vanguard, Mr. Deuce Castle, Pac-Man, Centipede, and Timber. A few days ago, they added Zaxxon and Roston to the lineup. So you can either play the arcade game or you can play on MAME. You have to go to their website, use a QR code, and then submit a screenshot of the game you played and your score. And be sure to register your email address on their site so they know who you are if you happen to finish in the top 3 by the end of April. You're encouraged to enter this thing. And I'm in this thing, and it's early. So, the MAME Gaming League is also happening. This is season 67. The 4 games in this right now are Crazy Kong Part 2. Yeah, kind of an odd choice, but somebody voted for this. Skybase. Game that I never played, and Galby Ghost certainly does not have this on the floor. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Word of warning, do not use Fightcade for this one because the settings are incorrect, they say. So you got to use MAME or Wolf MAME. No pausing. And the Outfoxies. In the case of Outfoxies, I played the actual arcade cabinet at Galvin Ghost. So ditto with some of the games for American Gear Company. I still got to put in a score for Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. I will be streaming next week my gameplay of the tournament games I'm playing, unless they're in my garage, and I got to set up a laptop and webcams for that. Andre the Blanket, thank you for following my page. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your stay. Enjoy your stay. MGL 67, there's the score submissions for 2 of the games are open for until April, I guess another week, maybe April 19th. Yep. Is he hanging here? Well, you'll find out in a moment. as I will introduce everybody in just a second. Welcome, 863 Flag. Thank you for joining us. Jolt, thank you for joining us also. Or you can't stay long. Dumb Records will be holding a Pokemon pinball launch party at this Saturday at Dumb Records, 418 East Monroe Street. I'll be busy with something else, unfortunately, so I can't air this one. Don't park in the back lot behind Dumb Records, because the lot is owned by Metropolis Parking, and they charge excessive amounts. They're trying to sell that lot and the Ridgely building over there, and nobody wants it because the Ridgely building is pretty much going to have to be demolished. So it just sits there. Also, Super Mario Arcade Tournament this Saturday on the 11th. You have, for $20, you get quarters. $20 in quarters. So it means you have 80 plays to play whatever in the 5-hour span of time. And once the $20 is gone, that's it. No more plays. High score wins. And this is in Maryville, Indiana, at Wicked Wonders. The most controversial thing, and one of our guests is having some connection problems, so I'll have to figure out what's going on there. So there, a little bit of an interesting thing going on, and I'm going to have to play video because people were wondering, is this real? Is this real? Are they really considering canceling T20? Well, apparently, Duck is considering it, but he wants feedback from the general public before he makes a final decision. He wants the gamers to tell him. But I'm going to show the video, so here we go.
So I need to hear some feedback from everybody.
All right, good.
What if? Now, I'm not saying we're not going to do it, but what if? What if there was no T20 this year? Andrew saying, yeah, Andrew liking the idea.
Okay, here we go.
Interesting. What if? No, Muda, no. No, T30. No. We did, what did we do? T23 that one year?
J20.
What if we did something new?
That's okay.
The T1000. No.
Everyone in.
We've done all that. We've done the tournament. Zurst wins it every time. Except for when your former Game of the Year, Stephen Lucas, won. But yeah. But what if we did something else?
Man, I tell you.
I don't know. Something worth thinking about. Because, I love getting ready for
so
T20. I
close.
love making all the games.
My God.
But the tournament, everybody's not a
My
score
Lord.
chaser. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
Oops, I got to take this down. Anyway. All right, well. Oh, good grief. What's going on here? All right, well, Doc Mac wants to know what everybody wants. Should we have T20 this year? Good grief, I can't take this video down. All right, there we go. Doc Mac wants to know what everybody wants this year. Do you want a T20 tournament? Do you want something different? If we get something different, what is something different? Just trying to scare us? I don't know about that. He ain't gonna do T50. He's not gonna. It's like somebody floated doing a T30. It's like no. So, but yeah, this is gonna be a topic in the next few weeks. So discussion is gonna be raging about this for the next few weeks. Early May, I'm probably gonna kind of round up a few people and get their feedback. So, all right. I believe that's it. And we're going to go into the main event. As you know, tonight, yes, I've got a streak going, 20 shows. This will be 21 coming up at the Midwest Gaming Classic, a event that I cannot get enough of and is the fastest 48 hours of the year. So, show off the trailer and we'll bring in our guests. All right. Wow, that's not switching back and forth for me. Anyway, introducing first. Yes, this is the Midwest Gaming Classic Roundtable. Introducing first, returning to the Crimeycade, and somebody that I've had a little bit of a few battles with on the competition stage and lost. And why is this not working? There we go. Jim Patzer, welcome.
Hey, Steven. How you doing?
Good. Have you learned how to play the guitar yet?
The guitar. Oh, yeah. This. No.
No?
Nope.
Never took lessons?
No, not yet.
Oh, good grief.
Someday, maybe.
All right. Introducing second. And he's been at the Midwest Gaming Classic almost as long as I have, maybe longer. Jason Gares. And you're muted. Jason Gares, welcome in. You're still muted. Or we got no audio. Yeah, check your audio settings. And introducing next. I don't know how many years he's gone, but
Can you
he's
hear me
already
now?
there. Yes, we got it. Yes. Volunteered to come in as I saw a post in Sega Genesis forum on Facebook. Joshua Jaeger.
It's Jaeger, but that's all right.
Oh, I mispronounced it.
No,
Jaeger.
you're good. You're good. Yeah, I've actually been at MGC almost every year since '04. So back
As
when
long as I have.
back when they were in the middle school cafeteria with Feet of Fury playing on a 75-inch screen TV.
Well, that's even further back.
So
Because I only remember the Brookfield Sheridan, Oconomowoc, and Wisconsin Center.
yeah, there was
Brookfield.
Brookfield, Sheridan, Oconomowoc. That was those are like probably the second or third ones that I had been at. So it was kind of exciting because it was a more intimate experience back then. I think there was only like 80 people that attended the one that I was at. So
It must have been 03 or 02 or 01.
I guess it could have been. I don't know. I thought it was 04, but who knows?
04 was the first one I went to. Okay. I'm going to have him sign in because I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but his last name is easy to pronounce. Welcome in, Harley.
Hey, how's it going,
Sign
guys?
in.
You can just call it Psycho. Figure out the rest for yourself.
Cykomf Harley.
Works for me.
All right.
How you guys doing?
Doing good tonight.
Good.
Hey, Jimmy.
Good to
I'll
see
help
you.
you with that guitar, Jimmy.
I could use some. I don't know how to tune it.
Well, that's where you start. I've been messing with the MGC since the late 2000s. The first one I went to was in Oconomowoc, where I just kind of went as a spectator, didn't know what to expect, and I was really impressed by all the pinball guys there. That's what kind of drew me into it, and started going. The next one was at the Brookfield Hotel, and I remember bringing my first machine in over the threshold of those the doors at the front lobby area. There's like a cobblestone bit there, and I'm rolling it. I think a Nintendo cab on the back wheels, and just ripped the whole back panel right off the machine. So that was my inauguration, first time attending as a exhibitor, if you will. But it's grown considerably since. It's huge. They've incorporated so much more. It's been great to watch it grow over the years, and that's why I'm here.
Introducing next. These guys are at the convention with a big setup every year. Two representatives of this group, and they have their own podcast. Guys, Games, and Beer.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going? Hope we're not echoing.
Nope, you're good. Who's
not
representing the crew tonight?
I'm Rob, and this is Tom.
Look at those
Welcome
sexy
in.
bastards.
And one last person. He's working right now, but he decided he has accepted to make a cameo tonight. And he's a regular at Midwest Gaming.
We can do that.
From the Garcade. Spanos. Yeah, he's busy working, but I decided
Hey,
we could just come in for a few minutes.
I apologize. It's real loud in here.
I figure.
But you asked me to make a cameo, so here I am.
Thank you, George, for coming in. I don't know how long you have. I just asked you the main question to you first.
You can also barely hear what's going on here.
Oh, okay. I'll put you on mute for the moment.
Yeah. I don't know how to mute it, so.
All right. I'll be right back.
I love how it got loud when Garcade shows up. You know,
Right.
Yeah, he's working on pinball machines right now. So I'm glad he was able to make a cameo because he's been there at MGC almost, a lot of times, and you can't miss him. I have to have his wit and his person. I got joined by another guest. This guy. Cody has crashed the stream. All right. Well, I'll go around the room. Everyone's 411. Everybody just kind of introduce what you do in gaming, starting with Jim.
Hi, I'm Jim. I have been going to MGC for, I want to say, probably 6 years regularly now. I went once or twice before that. I, like Stephen alluded to, I mostly am a competitive gamer. So I like to go for the tournaments. I go for a lot of things, but primarily the tournaments. And those are always fun. Good chance to compete with some other good players. And I won the Mega Game Championship in 2024.
And got that nice new guitar.
Yeah, it's nice to look at least.
And ironically, I've won the year after, and that trophy that's sitting back there was the grand prize.
Yeah.
I can't play a tune with it, though.
Well, that makes two of us.
Yeah. All right, Jason, you're 411.
I was with the Midwest Gaming Classic for 10 years. I started out in, I started out in 2015. I was contacted by Mark Hale, which is Gabrielle Hale's brother, about doing a documentary on MGC back in the Sheraton days. And that didn't happen because eventually I got pulled into MGC and I became the panel director of the panel room, and have been helping Dan Lucen out with the panel room up until last year. And this year I decided to step away because of personal things going on in my life, specifically with my wife. And I've recently done a article in the 50th anniversary, or in the 50th issue of Old School Gamer, and that would be on the game Pac-Man.
Nice.
So I did that, and for the 51st issue, there will be a full article on the history of the Midwest Gaming Classic that I worked on with Dan Lucen.
All right. We lost Harley. He's been having a little connection. Oh, no, he's back. What happened? I guess he kind of dropped. All right. Joshua.
Hey, yeah. So I've been staff with MGC since 2011. Prior to that, I was working on trying to start up an event at MGC. We do TurboFest, and currently TurboFest is actually a part of Guys, Games, and Beer. So we're a part of that, and TurboFest is pretty much just an event that we hook up a bunch of TurboGrafx games and just play, sometimes competitively, but mostly just casually and have fun and just hang out with those guys. So Yeah, and I also doing staff work for MGC. I'm a part of the museum section, so we've been putting that on since the beginning, pretty much with JD and that side of the group. So, and this year with JD giving us a little bit more work to do and him stepping aside a little bit, we've been given some more responsibilities. So now, man, every other week we're doing MGC meetings pretty much since December. So it's been really, really looking forward to this next 2 weeks going by so we can actually get the show going.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long 2 weeks for me before I got the 5-6 hour drive up to Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Harley.
Yeah.
Give us your 411.
I'm nothing.
Nothing.
No, I just collect a lot of weird old shit, you know, and games included, not just video games, but old board games and shit too. So I had acquired this one machine that is a bumper pool table with an electromechanical scoring head on the back, like a pinball machine. And it was kind of unusual. I had it on the old Mr. Pinball site, and somebody named Chris invited me to bring it out to the MGC. And I thought, well, I don't know about carrying this thing because it's, you know, from the 50s. Those things don't travel well. But I came out to check out the show, and it was interesting. I was impressed to see there was a lot of consoles and stuff there. I liked how they embraced all the different aspects of it, you know. So the next year I decided I was going to bring a machine, and that was the one I was telling you about, bringing it across the threshold, ripped the back end right off of it. But I still had a good time. The guys there were really helpful, helping me get it patched up and did some triage on it. That's what really impressed me was the community. That first day, you have that disaster right there, the first thing moving in, and these guys just jumped in, and I didn't even know them. But, you know, and that's what really stuck with me. So I've been coming back pretty much every year since and participating, bringing games to share and show with others. And I guess that's it. I really appreciate how they've expanded the show to include other aspects like the cosplay. My grandkids love that. The music, I love that, man. Some of the bands you get there, you never see anywhere else. So it's really ticks a lot of the boxes in the old entertainment section. So I love this show every year. It's one of my favorites.
You said you had a disaster?
Taking my first machine and rolling it in the front door of the hotel, the Sheraton. It was the first time I had to go to the Sheraton for the show. And I forget which machine it was. I think it was, oh shit, it was one of those Nintendo machines, you know, with the wheels in the bottom, and you rolling this big heavy bastard in, and right across the threshold of the sliding doors, the wheels caught and ripped right off the back of the machine. Not a disaster, but it was a bit of a calamity right there when everybody's trying to load in their equipment. And here I am broken down in the middle, splinters everywhere, wheels going this way, and no dolly.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But it's all good. We fixed it up and still had a good show. There was another time when it snowed. Oh my God. You guys probably remember that one.
Oh, I got this on my list of memories. All right.
In April.
Yeah, snow in April. Yeah.
Snowstorm.
Although my snowstorm happened to be in when they had it in March, more than a decade ago. Rob and Tom, I believe.
All right, Rob.
Well, hello there.
Hey there. You go with your 411 first.
Okay, I'm Rob, also known as Retro Rob from Retro Rob Plays Everything. Also, I'm one of the founding members of Guys, Games, and Beer, along with Tom.
All right, so you started with MGC.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when it was because it was in a basement. I recall it being in a basement. There was tables and there was a big robot, and I brought my son there.
He can see me.
So that may have been at the Boy Scout thing. So
yeah, it might have been. I really.
That was in the service building.
Is that it? Thank you.
Yeah,
that helped. Then yeah, and it was I brought my son there and I thought it was really cool. And later on when we started Guys, Games, and Beer, said, well, we should go there once and shoot a thing. And then we ended up bringing all of our stuff there.
Yeah.
Which yeah, that still goes on.
So yeah, so my first year actually was the first year, and when it was down at the Boy Scouts in the basement of that.
Yep.
What? That's 2001 now. God.
Yeah.
So one of the Snow Jag Fest kids For those of you who don't know, that's how this all started. And just at this point, I was a big Dreamcast fan, and they had some original Dreamcast games there that they were working on. So I did not go for the Jaguar. I went for the Dreamcast. So that was my first year there. And then, like Rob said, we've been going a lot of years previous. And then in 2013, we made it official, and Guys Games and Beer became part of the Midwest Gaming Classic family. Literally, we were in this teeny tiny hotel room that looked like a hallway that they took the bed out of.
Yeah, and then there was two. Remember, we had two rooms.
First year was one, second year was two. We kept it
Was that the Olympia?
And eventually we ended up, now we're 6,500 square feet there, full of stuff. So it's amazing what happens in the short span of 14 years. This will be year 14 for us there.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Go back. I go to George, but he's not in front of his phone. Oh, well, there he is. That's George. We're going to give you a try. Can you hear us? George, can you hear us?
You want me to talk?
Yes. Can you give me the 411 if you're what you do? Yeah, before, but...
What do I do here, or what do I do at MGC?
Yeah, why not? Well, at MGC, yes.
I do all of this. I do that. I've been very behind on pinball lately because I've had other stuff to do. So that's why I'm doing it right now, you know, because I finally have a chance to do it. As far as my history with MGC, my first show was 2015, and I've been a console museum volunteer since 2022.
Okay. And you certainly are present at the Garcade.
Yeah, I stop by the room sometimes.
Oh, you stopped. Well, you're wearing the shirt, so I imagine you're there a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm at work now. No, I'm talking about the Garcade room at MGC. Obviously, you've seen me there.
Yep.
But part of the reason why I like MGC now is because it's not all arcade stuff. Like, I need kind of a disconnect from that. Mainly because I've just been around it my entire life. So the console museum thing is pretty cool, you know.
Yep. They mentioned the board games and the cosplayers and now wrestling shows and
Hornswoggle. Or
yes.
Swoggle.
Yeah. Yes. Of course. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there now, you know.
All right. I'm going to put you on mute for a moment because of all the background noise. I'll get his attention later. All right. So we'll ask the first question. What are you looking forward to most at MGC this year? And we'll circle around the room again. Jim.
Oh, I'm still honestly waiting for the calendar to fill out. It has started trickling in. I'm always looking forward to seeing what competitions are going to be there. I like going to the panels and presentations as kind of the second scheduled event kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as George was saying, I always like checking out the console museum. It's not on the calendar, but always something I make time for.
Now, they have updated the tournament schedule, so that has filled in. Has been some changes. Yeah, blindfolded Pac-Man. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. And then holding the controller upside down to play Super Mario 3. I don't know how that's going to work because I kind of hold the controller differently than everybody else.
Yeah. Well, you can go ahead and get some practice in now because as long as the controller's upside down, I don't think they'll rule against you however you want to hold it.
Although I think they want it reversed instead of, when they mean upside down, they want it
Right.
reversed.
Well,
So-
what they mean, so basically the control pad is going to be in your right hand, and the A and B buttons are going to be in your left hand. Because they haven't done it with Super Mario Brothers 3 to my recollection, but they did it with Super Mario Brothers 1 in a previous year.
Yeah, they're going for the fastest time in 1-1.
Yeah.
As usual. So no mega retro tournament this time.
Not so far, but again, I think they're probably still filling it in, so it might pop up yet.
Yep. Jason?
Oh, I'm
If
not looking
you're
forward to
going.
anything because I won't be there.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So go to Josh.
Josh, go ahead.
Honestly, for me, it's just the people. All the other staff, my friends that I've made at MGC. It's kind of like what Psycho had mentioned before. The gaming community, you don't even have to know anyone there, and you already have so much in common with the guy standing next to you. Just either it's pinball, arcades, video games, tabletop, whatever you're doing. And like, I don't know, the hugs, the laughs, the handshakes, the getting drunk, getting a little high, hanging out, just freaking amazing. It's so much fun. Obviously, being staff, there's a lot of work that happens in there too, but like once the work's done and everything's up and running, I don't know, it's just a great weekend. Like you said, the fastest 48 hours in gaming.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm gonna get much sleep, but I'll try.
No, sleep deprivation. Can you look forward to that? I guess, I don't know.
No, I can't. I mean, I kind of stay awake as long as possible, but at a certain point, I just have to hit the sack so I'd be ready, so I can function the next day. I certainly got to get up early enough for breakfast and then the early VIG access. Harley, what are you looking forward to?
All you guys, man. That's what I say, and it's about friends and friendship and just running into people you only see once a year at this convention. There's a lot of people who I've met there that come back every year, or nearly every year. And aside from that, I always like to see what they've added new. I may not always like it, but it's what are they doing to add to it? It's like every year they top themselves again continuously, and it's impressive. I mean, I know it's not just Dan; it's a whole army of people that do this. And, sometimes I'm even volunteering myself. This year, I hope to as well. But yeah, I guess I like to see it grow. Every year it gets bigger and better, and who knows what they bring in next. I mean, when they brought in the cosplay stuff, some of the older guys thought, oh, that's kind of weird, all these kids dressing up. But now you see the older guys are even getting into it too. So it's, it crosses over, and it's really, the gaming community is so varied. There's a lot of crossover into other stuff, like the anime or the musicians even. I love to see the musicians, man. We'll get Jim up there one of these days.
Not likely.
Cosplay has been a fixture at MGC, I believe, throughout. Unless I'm mistaken on that, but I can't remember. I've seen somebody cosplay every year.
At least from the Olympia days.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, games of beer. What are you looking forward to most?
All right, go first.
No, you go first.
All right,
what are you looking forward to?
All right. For years it was like I collect new stuff in the vendor hall, but nowadays it's I think somebody else said it too. You meet some people once a year and you get to have a drink with them or two, and it is great. It's one of the most enjoyable parts of the show for me now. Also talking to random people, like in our room, we get a lot of people and we talk to so many of them and they'll ask questions. That part's great. Sometimes you learn new stuff. You think you know it all, but then somebody just comes up randomly and tells you a whole bunch of stuff about your own stuff that you didn't know. I think that's awesome. You know, it's one of the most awesome things about this convention. It's just fun. And then I give them a beer.
Heck yeah. So yeah, same thing. I'm going to agree with pretty much what everybody has said. It is the people we meet and the people we know. A lot of faces, familiar faces here right now. I look forward to seeing you guys there, hanging out, having a beer together, showing people our passion for the gaming industry, what we have to show, some of the custom stuff, some of the unusual stuff. It's just cool to watch the passion people bring to this show. This particular show, we do a lot of shows, and this particular show, there's a lot of very passionate people about gaming, and not just console gaming or pinballs. The pin people are particularly passionate, by the way, but not just pins, but console gaming, cab gaming. It's really cool to see what people bring to this. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Again, looking forward to seeing you all, except why are you not going to be there? I was talking to Jason, but that's okay.
That is Jason.
He can't hear me right now. He's not
Jason Gares, I think that
can't
was
hear
you.
I know you're not going to be there, but I'm going to miss you this year, dude.
Things have changed in my life, and
Enough said. You don't need to explain to me, but we will miss you for sure.
thank you.
George?
You guys too.
Oh. George, if you can hear me, what are you looking forward to at MGC this year?
Seeing you.
Yeah, I the feeling is mutual. Seeing you and a whole slew of gamers that I don't see very often. It'll be kind of like a big party. There we go. Whoop.
Jim Patzer. Jim's right there. You see him right there?
Yep. I'll see
Jim Patzer.
I'll see Jim there.
Right there.
The Midway Monsters.
Midway
Monsters will be there.
Okay.
Oh, you're having a conversation with somebody.
We're talking about MGC. I'm going outside. It's hot in here.
Who is that? Is that Gar?
No. Do you know Tim? You know Tim? The other guy.
Tim.
Gar's not here. He's probably in bed right now.
When is he at his own arcade anyway?
There it is. See it?
Yeah, by name only.
Literally named after him, and he's not here. Why?
It's a lot of work, I imagine.
Oh, he was here earlier.
Yeah. I mean, Doc's not at the Galvin Ghost 24/7.
Right.
He used to be. I miss those days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was a while ago. It was like 9 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah, you were.
Good time.
Used to work for Galvin Ghost at one point.
Yeah, I didn't work for them.
You were a fixture, I guess. Well, you aired the first 20.
Volunteer.
Volunteer. Ninja.
All right. We have another guest that's just come in. Welcome in, Andy Park, Retro Andy.
How you guys doing?
We're good.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I life and daughters to drop off at volleyball practices and all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, I kind of figured people were going to run in and out throughout the whole pod, so I was kind of prepared for this.
Yeah. So, are we discussing our history with MGC here, or are we? How are we starting out?
We are. Well, give us your 411 as a gamer first.
Okay. I primarily retro game. I've been collecting since 2002. I focus primarily on shmups. I have almost all the shmups for the Genesis, NES, Super Nintendo, PC Engine, Turbo, Saturn. Not quite for the PlayStation, but almost. I have a little blog that about 10 people read, and it's primarily focused on that as well. And I've been going to Midwest Gaming Classics since it was in the back lot of the Brookfield Hotel under a big tent where pools of rainwater would kind of pull in. And I don't know what year that would have been, maybe 2011. Does that sound right?
It was kind of the last couple of years that they were in Brookfield before they moved over to the Wisconsin Center.
14, 15.
Yeah, I remember all that. I see that big wall of games behind you.
Oh yeah, those are my Atlantic Oscar shelves. I'm a big Genesis collector, so most of my collection is Genesis and Mega Drive. And also I have a decent PC Engine collection too. So I'm more of a Sega guy first, and then maybe Nintendo and others after that.
All right. So I asked everybody else. I'll give you your turn at this. What are you looking forward to most at MGC this year?
You know, the best part about going to Midwest Gaming Classic is to be able to have a conversation I've always wanted to have with someone and have them not look at me like I'm crazy. I don't know how it is with everybody else, but almost nobody in my immediate sphere even knows what I'm talking about or even cares about retro games. So it's the best part to be able to have fun conversations and dialogues with people and just all the things that you wanted to talk about, but you couldn't, in your home environment. So, I'm not really as much in the buying phase anymore. I kind of have what I want. There's a couple of things I'm looking for here and there, but mainly just shoot the shit. Oh, sorry, can we swear? Sorry.
Yeah, it's I try to avoid cursing, but
Noted.
This is PG-13. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook Live. Adults are going to watch this thing, not kids. So
right.
No. Well, if somebody started excessively cursing, then I'd probably kind of hammer it down a little bit. But no, you're good. I'll say what I'm looking forward to most. First, getting away from where I live. That's what first thing I look forward to. Second, seeing a bunch of things that I don't usually get to see. Obviously, a lot of gamers, the big wigs in gaming. The vendor hall, of course, which has gotten so overwhelming. I don't buy anything anymore. Yeah, it's so difficult to even. Yeah, I'm out of the buying phase unless I really want something. Seeing a bunch of rare games, pinballs and arcades, just looking for anything that Galvin Ghost doesn't have or Garcade doesn't have. What else? Oh, the thing I least look forward to is when it ends. And that Sunday at 5 o'clock is the saddest moment of the convention because it's all over, and then I got to drive 6 hours back home. Ain't easy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I look forward to. All right.
Now that you mentioned it, has there ever been an after Sunday party and then people just stay over and leave Monday? Has that ever been a thought?
I don't. If there is, I'm not aware of it. And one particular year, I probably should have stayed up there because of a blizzard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I should have stayed another night Although driving back was still would have been just as rough the morning after.
That was
I don't know.
2019.
2019? No, it's for well, maybe that's one particular year where there's a blizzard, but there was another one further back in time, and I believe I was coming home from the Brookfield Sheridan. I
Oh, yeah.
was say 2013, as because I don't think I got my trophy that has it, but I drove back in a blizzard. I only made it as far as Lincoln, and then I had to stop because it was like, and then I had got the last hotel room. Yeah. 15 inches of snow fell. So I had to dig myself into the driveway. Yeah, and that's on my list, and I got my head myself. All right. But that is the next that leads to the next question. Favorite memories or stories, and jeez. Yeah, driving home in the blizzard. There was a game tournament that year. It's kind of like pin golf, except this was video games, where you had to complete a challenge in. If you completed a scoring target in so many tries, I mean, if you do it in one try, then you got a hole in one. I won that tournament. I got a nice little cash prize that went to the hotel room.
Nice.
That sucked. So that's one of my stories, but I want to hear from everybody. Jim, I'll let you go first on that.
Boy, there's honestly so many things, and getting outside of the competition sphere, I've met a whole bunch of industry personnel, interesting people from outside. His name came up before. I did get to meet Hornswoggle. Got a signed autograph.
He's gonna be back.
Is he coming back this year?
They are holding ACW, and that's Hornswoggle's Fed, so they're coming.
Okay. I got to meet Walter Day. Got to see his movie last year. Let's see. Played all kinds of consoles in the console museum that I can hardly even remember because there's so many of them. My favorite one there, I got an opportunity to play an Atari 5200, which I've never played anywhere else. I got to play the Atari 5200 version of Mario Brothers, which is Mario Brothers being one of my all-time favorite arcade games. The Atari 5200 port, not so great, but it was interesting to try it. Still an interesting game, even if the port didn't really work out very well. Man, Vendor Hall. I've picked up some interesting stuff there, some really cool artwork, and a few games here and there. This year I'm planning to do that right. I'm actually preparing a list of things I want to look for when I'm there. That's what's coming to mind right now.
All right. Jason?
Well, being with the show for a decade and being in charge of the panel room, getting the panels together and getting all the talent together, I would say would be the number one thing for me that has really stood out over the years. And meeting all the talent that has been in the panel room over a decade, being like Ernie Hudson, actually being able to meet him and talk to him prior to the panel and after the panel. And Ted DiBiase, same thing. I was able to have access to certain people that most people haven't had, and I'm grateful to have those opportunities over the years to be able to actually have personal conversations and friendships made through being in charge of the panel room, and then being able to meet everybody like Guys, Games, and Beers, and being part of the group that put everything together for the convention. And it was a very special decade for me, and I'm very, very appreciative that I was able to be part of it. And I hope whoever slides into my position that they enjoy it as well.
I'd like to do another panel. I don't know how I would do it though. That's a question, and what it would be about.
I'll just contact Dan Lucen, and hopefully you can figure something out.
I don't have anything in mind though. That's a problem. I'd probably have to join somebody else's panel.
Well, I do remember that I recorded, because I recorded all the panels for 10 years, and
Yeah.
I had Stories from the Midwest Gaming Classic on my YouTube channel for a while, and then it was taken down because Dan and I decided to do the MGC podcast, and we did that for 5 years or 5 seasons. So I'm bringing the Stories from Midwest Gaming Classic back onto my YouTube channel, and there's going to be 4 through 8 are going to be all brand new seasons that I haven't had up before, because they were planning on being part of the podcast. So you were part of the competitive, right? The Nintendo, being part of the Nintendo competition, right?
The panel of the Nintendo champions. Zach Hendricks was there. He was the winner of the Wii Sports tournament. I'm the 91 Campus Challenge champion.
Right.
And a couple of runners up for the other tournaments.
Yeah, I guess the thing that would probably pique Dan's interest would be probably getting other people back into it and doing like a retrospective, I guess, and maybe comparatively to what you're doing now and what they're doing now, and then what they did back then, and kind of put those things together.
I'm still wanting to meet Thor Ackerlund.
Oh,
I'm in his shadow. Or I'm his successor.
See?
Now I had
we're
Mike
always
Arossi
somebody's
on.
successor in somebody's shadow, so.
I had Mike Arossi on, so he came after me, Powerfest 94.
Okay.
So I had him on. I'm still wanting to meet Thor, and that hasn't happened yet.
Well, maybe it can.
If I have to go to Texas again, which that may end up, but I try to get him on my pod, and it's like he's not responding, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what this is about, Josh. Who's Orthopedic Labs, and why is he calling you out? Or why did you call him out on Blue Sky?
Oh, I believe that is our good friend Christopher, who's a big part of MGC. I posted on Blue Sky saying we'd be a part of the podcast, so that's where they probably got word. But so I am never ever going to be someone who dogs progress, because I love MGC and how much it's grown over the years. But I think it's lost some of its intimacy from even the Brookfield Sheridan days, the what do you want to ever want to call it? I'm not saying let's get a tent outside and freeze our asses off and watch the water and the slush come in and destroy people's inventory. I'm not saying that, because MGC where it is and how much it's grown is amazing and good for them and good for the team and good for everybody that's built it up to what it is. But dude, like some of my favorite memories are like what the Guys, Games, and Beer mentioned. They got 2 hotel rooms side by side. They took the bed out, and they had this small little area for their Guys, Games, and Beer. We were actually right next to them with TurboFest. They emptied out a room. I remember the hotel was like, don't use this bathroom. And we're like, sure. Then we wound up using the bathroom the whole time because we had our own private bathroom for the entire weekend. and we just set up like 6 or 7 TVs, played games all weekend. And like, there were certain events and certain things, certain hours that the convention wasn't allowed to stay open for because the hotel had their own regulations. And I just remember Dan Lucen like peeking his head in, seeing our room packed with like 15 people, and we're like gaming all night for like the 20th, 30th hour on from Friday night all the way to like early in the morning on Sunday. And he just peeks his head in and he's like, guys, can you keep it down? And we're like, yep. And he's like, all right, go ahead. And he closes the door, lets us just hang out in there. So I don't know. There's something about that type of experience and just how intimate it felt and how close everything was. Now with a giant convention and the big convention center, and I love the convention center. I think it's awesome and it's cool to see how much it's grown. But it's just, I don't know. It's lost a little bit of that togetherness, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but it ain't the same as it used to be.
The Sheridan was pretty cramped. I know that.
Oh, for sure. 100%. It's outgrown it. It absolutely outgrew it. But I don't know. There's something to say about conventions that are in hotels like that. It's just, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
It's that intimacy. You lose that intimacy when you get into something that's a large convention center. You get more in the convention center, but you do lose that intimacy.
I do want to have some room to maneuver, though. That's always a thing. And the Sheridan was so cramped. It's like they had to rent a circus tent, because they had no more room.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how they got past the fire codes.
Well, you got to talk to people.
Yeah, apparently. All right.
I remember that Turbo Fest room. That was the first time I ever played a PC Engine. I think it was your PC Engine, Josh.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Oh yeah, that's how we met. Was in the Turbo Fest room.
I think it was, and I also remember you were soldering. Someone was soldering right off to the side. Maybe it was Jody.
Yep, most likely.
Working on mods right there in the room. I mean, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, where you can bring in your turbo, your PC Engine, get it RGB modded or whatever they were doing, composite, S-video, whatever. That was pretty good. I also remember the smell of people living in that room for 3 days.
That's another thing. More
Wasn't
room,
great.
the air dissipates.
That's the intimacy that you don't want.
Yeah.
And you get to hit it with the pad.
Plus, that soldering iron smokes, and they're building these special handheld consoles. So yeah, they kind of need some air in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what is that? It, Andy? Your favorite memory?
Yeah.
Okay, Harley.
Well, Andy brought up a lot of good points about that intimacy. Over the years, you run into people and you meet them. Like Jim mentioned, Walter Day. The first time he was, swarmed by everybody, so I didn't really get much other than a handshake. But the second year, I ran into him in the arcade room, and we were able to play a game of Robotron together. That was a moment for me, as like, wow. What about the time they brought the Nintendo PlayStation? That was a big ordeal too. That was kind of cool. If we ever get it playable, that would be even better. I bet you. I'd like to see how long the line is for that. There was one time at the after party, going along playing games, and that was the year the Metallica pinball came out. And it was hard to get on it during the day because it was just nonstop lines, But at the after party, you had a shot. There was always somebody playing it, but you could at least get in and play 2-player with them. And so I was playing with this guy. He had kind of an accent, a bit of a Welsh accent. And start talking with him. Find out it was his Dirty Donnie, the artist who did the artwork on that pinball machine that year. It's like, what a trip. He ended up giving me some of the little Metallica artwork bits that went in the corner of the machine autographed. So that was kind of a cool moment. Otherwise, that time with the sale, the vendors out in the hall or out in the tent, they were running heaters in order to stay warm. And that softened up the vinyl. So when the snow and the melt all got together, we had that big swimming pool up there. That was fun to watch. I kept waiting for that sucker to rip open. I was surprised it never did. Whatever they're using for that tent material, it's amazing. But the intimacy is I mean, I remember it being packed cheek to jowl at the hotel too, and trying to get through the hallway or whatnot. That was kind of crazy, trying to get from one side to the other. It was yeah, outgrowing, but now at the new center, there's a lot more space, and they can really spread it out a lot further. It'd be interesting to see if they're going to incorporate the north building this year. Any ideas, you guys? Anyone know? I haven't seen the map yet.
I believe it's all up there now. They've been updating the site as it's been going along. Let me look real quick. The map is so it's pretty much going to be first level, second level, and then it's going to be 3 levels as usual. But I don't think they're going into another building.
Okay.
He says expand into a new portion in 2027. I'm gonna have to look to see what this is because I'm not sure what.
Yeah, the back half of the Baird Center isn't going to be MGC. There's something else going on there, so they double booked that weekend, I believe, by what I remember hearing.
That ought to make parking challenging.
Well, I park there Friday night, and it stays there all weekend. So I do know that.
Here's my favorite experience was that parking ramp. Getting stuck in the swirled parking entrance ramp to get up to the loading dock after the show on Sunday night. Spend a few hours there, get intimate.
Yeah, there's usually been a couple of things going on at the Wisconsin Center. Not every ballroom was in use for MGC. I know ChipperCon took up some of it, but that was like Thursday and Friday. And then the thing wraps up. I think a wedding was held one year and some other type of convention was going on, but not sure on that.
There was a girls' gymnastics event at the same time one year.
Ah, okay.
I think that was the same year that Walter Day and Billy Mitchell were there, when Billy Mitchell was under the whole thing going on with him.
2018, maybe?
I got that on my list. I'll get to that in a second. Of memories. Guys, game some beer. You're muted.
Hang in there. Okay, so shut me up. If I go a little long.
We got memories, dude.
We got a couple of them I'd like to talk about. There's the Tim Kittro incident, and I think we should. By the way, Tim Kittro is freaking awesome. If you ever met him, he's the guy who does. Yeah, he's the Boom Shakalaka guy.
NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam, and so we interviewed him. I think it was like 5-6 years ago now, right? And we had him on the show, and he comes back like hours later, and he's like, "Hey, let's have a drink. Let's talk a little bit." And I'm like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Hey, this is the nicest freaking guy ever." So we have a couple drinks, we enjoy ourselves. So I'm telling Tom about this, and Tom goes, he came back and had a drink with me too. And then Larry goes, "Oh, yeah, he had a drink with me too." So Kittro just kept coming back and getting free drinks off of us. That was awesome.
That was an amazing.
It was absolutely awesome. I loved that day. And by the way, he is just a really nice guy. We've interviewed a lot of people over the years, and I would say Kittro's. There's a lot of there's some really good ones, but Kittro comes among the best because he's just a really nice guy in person.
Yeah.
No ego on that guy at all. He just wants to hang out. So really nice guy. The Ben Heck.
Ben Heck incident is legendary, but
So this is early on. This is one of our third year, maybe.
This was like the third year there.
So third year, Ben Heck asks if he can leave his. He's got a Raspberry Pi thing that he made that he's doing videos on, and he left it in our room. because he was locked out of his room at that time. This is back at the Sheridan when you used to have a room, and he just didn't have his room key yet. So he comes back in and we're recording an episode. We're like, oh, we'll get Ben Heck on, but we're all sitting, right? So
the hotel room is
the hotel room's packed.
We probably have 15 people in the room,
and you can't really get in. But Ben's like, happy to talk to us, and the entire episode is basically the camera centered on his crotch. So we called the episode Ben Heck's crotch.
What?
Yeah. The camera was just too low. He was standing up. He couldn't sit down.
The rest of us were sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Couldn't adjust the camera.
And it just happened to be crotch level for Ben.
Yep. That was freaking hilarious. I absolutely love that one.
That was a great.
That was a really good episode. And he was actually really, really kind to us, especially early on. His crew's always been nice. Remember the one time they gave us cookies? Yeah, they were really nice. I think the last one I'm going to tell, and then I'm going to shift it over to you, the VR story.
Oh yeah, please do.
Back when so VR for a while was a big thing, and we all bought those dev kits when they came out.
So this was the Oculus DK1 kit.
Yeah.
The dev kits one. We all backed the project.
I actually got mine aftermarket, but you guys backed the project, and I got it aftermarket.
Right.
But we all had them. So there was so much demand for it. We actually opened up all three. So we had 3 seats running at all time, and there was still this is at the Sheridan. So there is a huge line going out. And you get people that were falling over. And it was just crazy. So I volunteered to run it for pretty much the whole day. I ran it, I think, 12 hours.
Yeah, 12. It was 12 hours.
So
we had a line for 12 hours.
So I tell Tom that I'm thirsty. And Tom says, what would really refresh you is gin and tonic. So he brings this big, huge bottle of gin and tonic. And do they pump oxygen into the rooms?
What's that?
Do they pump oxygen into those rooms or something?
It felt like
yeah. So I do my entire shift. And I thought I was doing pretty good. And I walked out the door, made it to the corner, and I couldn't find my room.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I had to be escorted back to my room.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find it.
Yeah, the Sheridan was
The Sheridan was pretty interesting, though. I don't do shifts like that anymore, by the way, just for the record.
Yeah.
I just don't do that anymore. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. So go ahead. I want you to talk about that one.
Which one?
That's on the screen.
I can't.
Okay. It's the Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay. So
and the proposal.
So Guys Who the Beer has been doing this. This will be our 14th year there. We have had so many amazing things happen in our room. We literally have had proposals. We performed a wedding in our room. I'm ordained, by the way. But let me start with the proposal. So one of the cast members, Mike, new Mike, wanted to propose to his current girlfriend, Kelsey. Rick Cohn had made a Wreck-It Ralph machine, and we were the very first people to ever have a Wreck-It Ralph machine in our room. Well, the second or third year we had it in our room, we rewrote the code to do a proposal. So Mike had Kelsey play the game, and when you reach the level where the apartment dwellers give him the pie, they gave him a ring instead, and on the screen it popped up, "Will you marry me, Kelsey?" So Kelsey has her dad playing this game. Mike, in the meantime, is behind her, getting the ring out, getting everything ready. Truly one of the most amazing things ever is to see somebody propose in your room with a custom-written video game to do it. So that was really cool as heck.
That was a good night.
That was a great night. That was still when we were back at the Sheridan.
Mm-hmm.
We have done a wedding in our room. So not just proposals, we've had a wedding in our room. While at the Braid Center, we had a wedding. So Dan reaches out to me and Dan goes, hey, there's a couple who wants to get married at Midwest Gaming Classic. Do you know anybody who can do it? Well, I'm ordained, so I can do it. But they had a specific request. They wanted it to be Zelda themed because they were coming in cosplay. And this is when cosplay is really picking up at Midwest Gaming Classic. I mean, it's always been, well, not always been part, but in the later years, it's been part. So they come dressed as Link and Zelda. and literally we have a full wedding going on with. We have live music. A friend of ours, Brian Koenig, plays the most amazing guitar in our room and plays video games. He is playing the theme song to Zelda. We have the game running in the background. They are dressed as Link and Zelda, and we performed a full wedding in our room that year with Link and Zelda as the bride and groom. Kind of a cool thing. But, okay, with all of that said, you know what some of my best memories are? So in the very early days at the Sheridan, one of my earliest memories is it's Sunday, it's getting late in the day, and Sunday was family day at Midwest Gaming Classic. It still is, but back then it meant a little bit different. And I'm standing there, and this father comes in with his son, and his son is just playing a game, and me and his dad are standing back watching him. And literally the room's pretty much empty because it's close to 5 o'clock, and we were always very careful to stay open late on Sunday so people can come in and play games. Back at the Sheridan, people would occasionally cut out early, but we stayed open late. And me and him just stood back there. I gave him a beer, and we stood and watched his son play a game. And it was probably one of the most kind of connection moments I've had at Midwest Gaming Classic. The other thing I miss it from Sheridan. So for those of you who've all been, and I know a lot of you guys have been there for a long time, doing this a long time, because it was a big pin event, I would love to watch grandfathers and their grandchildren walk around. The granddad would carry around a step ladder or a little step stool so the kids could get up and play the pinball games. That was probably one of the most amazing things ever, is to watch them walk around with them. They'd come into our room, they'd set this little step stool down so the kid could get up to the pinball game and play it. And that was kind of cool, actually. You agreeing with Josh on this, you missed that, Joshua on this, you missed that at the convention center. We're big now. We're 6,500 square feet now. We are literally a con in a con. We're a ballroom ourselves of events. And I kind of miss that connection you get with the smaller kind of intimacy of that. I understand why we moved. So in the later years, we were in a ballroom down the basement of the Sheridan. Oh my God, that was the worst thing ever, guys. It was basically
but we met the Vectrex guy. What's his name? The guy that used to sell the Vectrex games. What's the name of that company? We got all the Quake. We got the Quake Land from them. The Mac Quake Land.
Chris, why am I blanking right now?
I'm blanking. That's why I was hoping you knew.
Pack-Rat Games.
Pack-Rat Games. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We never would have met them.
That all being said, we love what Midwest Gaming Classic has become. We do a lot of conventions. So for us, and when I say that, I mean, literally, we've gone to Canada, all over the United States. Midwest Gaming Classic is our home and will always be our home. It's a great experience for us.
I do miss the smell of solder in the air when we
solder and sweat. Solder and sweat, kids.
Yeah, the early years, so much stuff broke all the time, and so much of our time was spent repairing. Remember, we almost always have something open, every every year.
No, we still have stuff open.
It's not as bad as it used to be. Like years ago, it was just constant, serious repairs. Now it's usually touch-up stuff.
We've gotten much better.
Yeah, it's because we do a lot we do a lot more cons now.
Yeah, we do.
We are always there is that raw first year feeling when you're just bringing your own stuff. It's literally the stuff out of your collection.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and you're just holding it together, hoping that a few more people can play it before it fails again.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah, remember the? Do you remember the Neo Genesis?
Oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. We've had a lot of buggy gear on the show. We do a lot of custom stuff. So that's my memories. Again, the memories that stand with me the most, though, and not like Joshua said, not like that I don't mind the bigger, larger, better. The intimacy of the early shows, there were some times, literally brought me to darn near tears having people in our room.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of staff either.
No, we didn't. It was us.
It was pretty rough.
All right. So that's us.
Yeah, and looking at this footage here, time lapse of all the stuff going in your area.
Yeah. So, if you have not stopped by the Guys Game the Beer area, we are quite the thing right now. There's always something new. We have a lot of new stuff coming this year. We have an OK Baby coming this year, which is a Taiwanese ripoff of a Japanese candy cab, which is freaking amazing. We always like to look for new things. We get to go to Japan once in a while, and we bring stuff back every year that we go. That we will be bringing to Midwest Gaming Classic. We'll be debuting a few new things at Midwest Gaming Classic that you have not seen anywhere else. We always like to have something new every year, so make sure to check us out.
Yep, Tom's our hype man, by the way.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you haven't noticed.
All day long.
I'll make an observation. You're actually there longer than the Midwest Gaming Classic itself because you were a part of, I guess I could call it the unofficial start of Midwest Gaming because it's kind of related, but not the big hacker convention that was in the day or two before.
CypherCon,
which is not happening this year.
Oh, no, it did happen this year. We were just there last week.
It's just
it's not happening the week of.
So they split off this year. So
it's no longer.
First week of April. Midwest Gaming Classic is the last week of April. So we were literally there with about 5,000 square feet there. Just 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and CypherCon, if a great hacker convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. By the way,
I was there in
you were there in spirit
in signs.
Yeah,
signage. Yeah, I was there in signage. Yes. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I filmed four seasons for them, which are on YouTube of their a lot of their panels as well.
My coding days are over.
Hacking.
My coding days are long gone. I can't do anything like them guys can. They would have to teach me. I don't know how they do it. I don't know where they go to learn all this stuff. I guess they learned it on their own.
You go to CypherCon.
Sure.
Well,
there's a lot of stuff.
They literally teach you how to pick locks and break physical security there.
There's a lot to learn there.
Yeah,
there is.
It is crazy good.
And try to stay on the correct side of the law too. But did I give everybody on that question? Because I got mine. Okay. My memories. Here's a disaster story. Galvin Ghost Arcade used to come out to the Midwest Gaming. The Sheraton in Brookfield. They recently debuted one of the very few prototypes of Primal Rage 2. They brought it out to the convention. Some careless individual, I guess, sat their beer on the control panel or the machine and it spilled.
Oh, yeah.
And the game was resetting itself multiple times till they shut it off and then discovered, it got spilled on.
Contrary to the rumors, it was not our staff. We only spill beer on our own stuff and have to fix it. So,
well, the bar was upstairs, so whoever did it brought his drink down, and it's like, I wanted to play this a few times, and I was like, oh crap, it's off. And then we find out somebody damaged the machine. It's like, this is a 1-on-1. It's not emulated yet.
Yeah.
And did we just lose a 1-of-1 to history forever? Thankfully, it wasn't. They were able to clean up the board, and it was able to play again. But eventually, they broke the encryption on the ROMs, and now you can play it on MAME. Thank goodness. So it is preserved, thankfully. The first time I went to Midwest Gaming Classic, also at the Brookfield Sheraton, meeting Billy Mitchell and Walter Day for the first time, and so that was an experience. Later on, obviously, I was at Big Bang in Atomo, Iowa, when they had the side by side Donkey Kong Jr. scores, and then of course things as time went on, there's like the big controversy about did he use MAME, did he not use MAME. I'm not going to relitigate the case because everybody's made their mind up, and nobody's mind is going to be changed no matter what is said. But had the the scandal broke, and he had I got maimed t-shirts, and but last year the court case with Billy Mitchell versus Carl Jobs finished up. Walter Day, his phone died, and he asked to borrow my phone to call Billy. So I had a conversation with Billy Mitchell on the aftermath of the lawsuit, and yeah, that was a bit of that was interesting to have him on the phone. So I got his number. Now I've not tried to get him on my podcast yet.
Have you met him in person? He's very tall.
Several times.
Yeah, he's very
several
tall.
times. Not just at Midwest Gaming, Big Bang, also the Illinois Game Con, and a few other places. So, and Galloping Ghost, of course, because I was there when he finally got the perfect game on the Class of 81 edition with Pac-Man and a different kill screen that squeaks out a few more points. So I was there for that. I mentioned the driving home from the blizzard. Shoot. I know in the early days of the Midwest Gaming, and this is kind of full circle for me. Previously, it was just Saturday and Sunday. I drive up there Friday night. There's nothing to do. You can't really go in and play the games while they're setting up, or at least they shoo you out after a while. So I had to find an activity for Friday night, and then I'd cruise into Milwaukee and go watch a wrestling show. Whether it's Frankie DeFalco's Brew City, or it was Insane Championship Wrestling at a particular bar. Well, as things expanded at Midwest Gaming, I chose not to go to a wrestling show Friday night because there was stuff to do at the convention. So 5 years ago, or actually 2019, I believe, pro wrestling shows up at the Midwest Gaming Classic. And I'm trying to I wanted to play games, not watch a wrestling show, but I ended up filming that, and then that's how I met Johnny Cass, who made his first wrestling appearance when he was carrying around debuted the Midwest Classic Championship belt. That was before he wrestled, and he didn't know I filmed it for my previous show, Pro Wrestling Central Illinois This Week. So he got to see himself making his debut for the first time, and then became a wrestler after COVID. 2023 was when I won a big cash prize, and that was also the retro gaming tournament when they were giving out money for second, third, and fourth place. Besides the guitar, but year 2, it was just the guitar with Jim Patzer beating me at NBA Jam. And I should have bought a copy of the game beforehand so I could practice, because that's what I had to do for year 3. Finally got over the finish line. Anyway. One other thing. Friday, if I got up there early enough, there was an off-site. Jason, you might remember this one. Somebody had a very large pinball collection in some warehouse, and if you donate to a particular charity, you get admission to this pinball place. I
I've
don't
been there.
remember the name of the owner. Maybe Harley knows.
I've been there, but I don't remember his name. I could probably find I got a lot of pictures I took from that place, and he actually sold me some parts for one of my machines. The dudes are super cool. Damn, I wish I could remember his name though. I'll
Is it
try to
like
find it for you.
21 or whatever that's up north?
It was like in Brookfield, 124th Street, maybe.
He had a very large collection of pinball machines, a lot
Incredible.
of EMs, and a lot of things I hadn't seen before, and it was just wall to wall.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
All right. Well, the next question I have, I'll go to this one. Rarest things found or played at Midwest Gaming Classic, like grails or something super obscure that you didn't expect to find. Yeah, we'll start with Jim. Go around the room again.
That's an interesting one. Boy, I already mentioned Mario Brothers Atari 5200. That was, such an interesting thing for me to find because being one of my favorite games in general, but also to get to play it on the Atari 5200, which I'd never played before, which has those weird controllers. That was a very interesting experience. There was another moment. This was a few years ago. Over in the arcade section, they were doing an arcade auction. One of the machines that showed up was Baby Pac-Man, which is a favorite of mine. So that was really cool. It was at a time, at the moment, the Garcade has one on their floor. At the time that this showed up at the Midwest Gaming Classic, that was not on the Garcade's floor. So it was cool to, get to play it there. Had the high score on it by the end of the show. Just a total blast. And then there's one situation which is actually a complete miss. I'm always too busy at MGC. And it's one of my favorite things about the show, and also one of my least favorite things is you just can't do it all. Things are cross-booked 2, 3, 4, 5 times over. And so you have to pick the most important thing at any point, at any time during the day, and go do that and just say to heck with everything else because you can't be in 2 or more places at once. And so it was a couple of years ago, and I don't even know if it actually really happened because it was advertised to happen. But I never actually saw it. I just thought, I'd naturally wander into it. Didn't leave any time in my itinerary. It was the then new game, Food Fight Frenzy, which is a multiplayer version of the arcade classic Food Fight. And it was supposed to be on demo there. And I just figured, I'll find some time. I'll get over there. I'll go see it, not knowing where there was. And somehow it slipped my mind all weekend. I never did randomly bump into it. Maybe it was there. Maybe it wasn't.
I'm
But
doubting it was there.
It kind of crushes me to think about.
I don't think it was actually there. What year was that?
I don't remember for sure. I want to say maybe 2023.
I know I walked around the entire thing. I don't remember seeing a Food Fight Frenzy.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible I didn't find it because maybe it wasn't there. That does happen. So I don't know.
Okay.
But something I'd still like to encounter in the wild someday. So who knows?
I know there's Pac-Man Championship.
Yes. The Garcade has that. I have played that a whole bunch of times.
All right. Jason?
Well, for me, it was playing Pac-Man pinball, finding that for the first time, or maybe rediscovering it from when I was a kid, and really Baby Pac-Man pinball / video game. And then the one thing, so I was always pretty much stuck in a room for the whole weekend. I didn't really get a chance to go do too much of anything. So the only time I really got to play any types of games would be either on like a quick break or on VIG Fridays. So I would find games then, and one of the coolest things that ever happened to me was playing Robotron 2084 with Eugene Jarvis on VIG. We struck up a conversation, and it was on the floor, and him and I played a game that he helped design. And to me, that was a very legendary thing to do at a game show. So that is a great memory. Plus, just being able to meet a lot of the people like Walter Day. Walter Day and I just a couple years ago kind of became friends with each other. So that was another thing. I never even knew who the guy was until I saw King of Kong, and I saw that in the movie theater, and then years later, I actually get a chance to meet the guy and become friends with him, and then I have my own card now and all that kind of stuff too. So that's pretty cool. So that's what I've taken away from it.
Josh?
Sure. So there's a lot of, the rarest thing I played, I think that's a good question, but what's the rarest thing I actually care about? Because like the Super ACAN, or ACON, however you want to pronounce it, I played a couple times, and that's like ultra rare. Laserdisc games, some of the laser active games that had come out, those are pretty darn rare, but kind of unplayable. Unless you love that FMV game, that's real-time action. But I think one thing that I really love to see, and that's super rare, is like the X68K and those like really, really top-notch arcade ports that came out for it, or just those really, really high-end shoot-'em-ups and action games. Every year, there's a bunch of guys in the museum that bring those in, and they're to me, they're a little above my level on how to get a game running on them, but once they're up and running, that's awesome. That's some of my favorite things, is just to find the really, really obscure and unique systems, sometimes vintage computers, X68K, maybe an MSX, those kind of things, and just sit down and really spend some time playing those because they're just a blast.
Retro Andy.
So probably the rarest thing I played was the Sega Pluto prototype that Adam Korlick brought along, and he's not the owner. He's borrowing it indefinitely, I think, from the owner who lives in California. But it was that one of two or one of three, I think, prototypes, and it was a Saturn, but it had a cartridge slot. I don't think the cartridge slot worked. I think it was intended. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was either intended for Genesis or 32X. And Saturn, but it never got off the ground. But it was pretty cool to play the working one. We were playing Saturn games on it, so we weren't really seeing both actions. I don't think both functions worked, but that was pretty cool, and I don't think I would have ever seen that anywhere else other than Midwest. So,
Harley?
Okay, maybe you guys can help me with this one. I can't remember what the pinball machine was, but they had it installed in a big bubble, and there was an air machine in there blowing foam balls around, like the inside of a cash grab machine or something. So you're inside this bubble playing a pinball machine while it's pelting you with these red foam balls. Any idea what that machine was? I don't know how rare it was, but that experience of trying to play it under those conditions was a unique, once in a lifetime thing. Me and the grandkids had a blast with that.
Did you play that at the Sheraton?
Yeah, that would have been at the Sheraton Hotel.
That was a special that was put together for competition.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the thing about playing a video game with the controller upside down, or playing Pac-Man with a blindfold on. That's the kind of game that was.
So that was probably just any generic. I don't even remember what the game was because I just remember that experience of getting pelted nonstop.
That was right in the corner, actually, right where you would like leave. There was the double doors, and it was to the left of the double doors.
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah, it was only there that one weekend.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what it was, but it was fun. It was different. Otherwise, I normally just look for stuff I've never seen before. Give it a try.
I know they do a pinball tournament every year with stipulations.
Yeah.
And strange things going on.
Yeah, like last year they had a pinball machine where there was water glass, so you couldn't see through. You couldn't see the
glass.
Yeah, it's called water glass. It looks like it's rippled. So
Shocking flippers would be good.
Yeah, I think they did the flippers opposite too, or something like that.
Oh,
too.
I must have missed that one.
And you had to play with boxing gloves on.
Or pogs all over it. I know they got pin golf every year, and it's like I've managed to get 4th place once. Got a trophy home, but that's probably my only time.
Hey, Harley, you remember that one year we got to play the giant Japanese version of Taiko Drum Master?
Oh, yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'll bet you won't do that again.
Rhythm games. Yeah, there's a lot. Bunch of those show up, and that because you have all that room, you have a lot more room to set all those big space-taking machines, including Dance Dance Revolution, which Goblin Ghost can't really have. But everybody at C2E2 was playing it all weekend, so Duck's got a decision to make on that one. Or he's got to open a rhythm game building. Guys, games of beer. What is your rarest item found, or grail, or play?
I don't do a whole lot of Holy Grail hunting. I do a lot of, hey, I remember this from back in the day, but I do remember when Atari did that Pong coffee table and showed like their first edition of it at MGC.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually pretty recent. I thought that was really freaking cool. I thought that was like the neatest thing ever. Again, not a lot of stuff that's rare. I remember when you remember the PlayStation prototype?
Yep,
the Nintendo PlayStation prototype came out.
That was amazing.
I did stop by and see that. But I kind of like stuff that triggers memories of, oh, I really wish I would have had that. And that's what I go for. So that Pong table kind of did that for me. I was like, well, I'm probably never going to own one because they're huge.
Yeah.
They make a tabletop one now, but
It's electromechanical.
Yeah, but the table one was freaking epic. It was so cool.
It was.
That's a cool.
I mean,
device.
they're for sale.
Yeah. It's. I gotta go with, will my wife kill me for this? And she's gonna see that.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to hide. Okay?
Yeah, it's hard to
I can
hide
hide the occasional console. A large tabletop machine is really hard to hide in your house.
But
so
you can also put things on top of it when you're not playing it.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. You can hide it.
Put tablecloth over it. Put your whatever. I mean, I'm gonna have to do that with. I already do that with a cocktail that I've got in my Crimeycade that I haven't fixed yet because I haven't had time to mess with it. Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
got
for me,
work too on it though.
This goes back to the Sheridan. They had, I think his last name is Decatur, Mike Decatur, who was technically Amiga's employee number 1. I'm a big Commodore fan, guys. I cut my teeth on earlier computers, but the Commodore line was my pinnacle of computing. And we literally had a bunch of Amigas out there that weekend. We were running a 1200, running some networking games. We had a 1000 out there, and Mike Decatur was out there speaking. He was one of the developers on the Amiga, and he was doing a lecture and explaining the history of Amiga on the Midwest Gaming Classic stage. And after the show, it's like, dude, come on downstairs for a minute. And I actually got him to sign my Amiga 1000. His is one of the only signatures his is the only signature that's not on a 1000. And so I had him sign it on the side. So it was complete. He quit before Commodore released it because of some legal issues, which he explained during the lecture. It was pretty darn amazing. It was a great talk. And that's one of the things about the Midwest Gaming Classic. You do meet people and you do see things like that you're just not going to get a chance to anywhere else.
So this is my answer to the question. And there's been, since I've gone 20 years, 20 shows straight, yes. It's hard to pick a few, but I'll throw this out there. Yeah, I played the Nintendo PlayStation. I see that several times at several different cons. They had the arcade auction, a cabinet. I knew somebody was on the hunt to create a complete Enigma 2. And an arcade auction, a cabinet showed up. It had Tetris in there. But when I saw the cabinet, I knew exactly what cabinet it was. The auctioneer didn't know what it was. The owner probably didn't know what he was, didn't know what he had. So I tracked them down and told them, hey, you got an extremely rare Enigma cabinet that there's only like 2 that I know of. Well, Taylor Lucas now has one because I think he completed his quest to build one complete, but there's one in Texas owned by I think Free Play House, I believe, owns one, and Jason Kopp owns one. And he brought it out to Chicago for an arcade convention. There's some other. I kind of look for arcade games and pinballs that I've never played before year after year. Some do show up. Games, I'm not buying stuff anymore, but I did take home games year after year for quite a while. Jeez. I don't know if I can name any more grails, really, but when there's that 1 of 1 or 1 of 2 or 1 of 3 arcade or pinballs that show up, or maybe a console game that's in prototype form shows up at Midwest Gaming, yeah, I want to take a little time to play those while it's there, because will I get another crack at it down the road? Probably won't. So that's what I'm after each year. All right. Jim alluded to this earlier. The fear of missing out on something. A couple of years ago, and this was in the midst of battling for the kind of my focus got turned on the retro tournaments. At the end of Midwest Gaming a few years ago, I don't want to go. I don't want the convention to end, but I was really feeling the blues after the convention was over, because I felt like I didn't do enough there while I was there. So I'll go around the room. When you're afraid of missing out on something that's at the convention, how do you mitigate it? Jim, I'll let you go first. Once again.
Yeah, so for me, it's preparation. I go to the website usually, there's always a calendar, and of course, it's usually not complete until like a couple of days beforehand. But in those couple of days beforehand, I go to the trouble of preparing an itinerary for myself. I list hour by hour blocks, really 15 by 15-minute blocks, and I try to figure out, well, what's the one thing? What's the one thing that I have to see at this time? And I make a note of what it is, where it is, how long it runs, and I follow that itinerary pretty strictly. For the most part, that's served me well. There have been a few times when I've inadvertently missed out on other things that pop up sporadically that you can't plan ahead for. And what can I say? It's all about the experience. And as I've said, you can't do it all. So at the very least, my itinerary keeps me focused and makes sure I hit as much of the stuff that I wanted to as is probably humanly possible.
And I kind of think, yeah, doing the attorney, that I've been forced to do that the last few years. I'm a lot of prep to go to the convention when you're just kind of running around and having fun. So, Jason?
Well, really for me, so prep for the show starts about 4 to 6 months prior to the show, and then being part of having been part of the main committee or team that gets the show together, I'm usually doing things all weekend. So when it comes to really going out and making sure that I see or do specific things, it's usually has been what's on the same floor that the panel room is on, and that's usually the Garcade and Guys, Games, and Beers. So I've always visited Guys, Games, and Beers and the Garcade because they've always been on the same level, and then it would be like VIG, and then the shows on like the after party on Saturday night, and then Guys, Games, and Beers after party. So those are the things that I've been pretty much strictly going to and seeing. I can honestly tell you that since MGC went to the Baird Center, I've only stepped foot in the not the showroom, the
vendor hall.
The vendor hall once, literally. I have not bought a thing because I have been so busy because usually I start either Wednesday or Thursday night. I will start, and a lot of that started when I was at filming for CypherCon, when CypherCon was piggybacking off of MGC. So that would be like a Tuesday or Wednesday I would start. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have an itinerary or anything. It was like, what do I have time for, and what am I capable of, and am I not too tired? So that's kind of what happened with me. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You pretty much would have to go to another gaming convention like a few weeks later to kind of fill the void of missing out on stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's a good point. Yes, I would have to do that. I actually, talking about Guys, Games, and Beers, there was last year went to 2D Con, and they were there as well, and so that was a whole nother thing, and it was almost like MGC light on that. Even though it was somebody else's convention, I was still working that. I worked that convention too, and there was like hardly any time. So it's like, yeah, having to go to another convention and like not do anything. Like maybe going to MGC and like be a guest there would probably be the best thing, because it's been a decade full of just like working it. So yeah, I would like, it would probably be a good idea if I could go to MGC or another convention and not working.
I know the year that I really had the blues, I ended up going to Como GameCon in Columbia, Missouri, like the following week to kind of mitigate the blues.
Right. And you know, that's a good point, you know, that I want to bring up, is that when MGC started out, and even when they were at the Olympia Resort, and then when they went to the Sheraton, the gaming convention scene was still in its infancy. There weren't many other conventions in the nation. And now, over the decade, it's really expanded to where there is so many that you can go somewhere else. You can go to another state and get a different flavor, so to speak, of a convention.
And there's a few more. There's a few upcoming. I'll be running down some of that at the end of this. Josh?
Yeah, so I honestly think that what best works for me is just making peace with the fact that you're going to miss some things. You make peace with the fact that you're not going to get to see every person that you want to see. You're not going to get to go to every game you want to play. And honestly, when I get there Thursday morning and we spend all day Thursday and most of the day Friday setting up the museum, getting it perfect and ready for that preview night on Friday night, you know, and it's like, oh, there's going to be a get together, an after party. There's going to be a Saturday night after party. Some of my favorite things and favorite memories to do is just meet up with a bunch of friends and go out to a bar or go to a hotel room and just play video games in the room or just catch up with them. So I've made peace with that because, you know, MGC is a lot of times early April. This year it's later April. But our convention, EverCon, ends the first weekend in March. So usually I have about 4 weeks between EverCon and MGC. And then there's 2DCon, like a lot of you guys have brought up. 2DCon to me reminds me of MGC about 10 years ago. The way it's in a hotel, it is a little more cramped the bigger it gets and stuff. But like, I love 2DCon. It's a great, very, very chill convention. Extremely fun time. So like, if I miss something at MGC, I'll try to hit it up at another convention later on.
Yeah, and the games you've played a lot of, I mean, you can pass on them because you can play them at Galloping Ghost later.
Exactly.
Shoot. Oh, one more favorite memory. I ate at one of the diners at the hotel after they closed the convention floor. Miller, I guess the Miller Brewing Company themed bar and grill. Ate at the bar, burger, fries, at Tower from American Gladiators was right next to me. Unexpected. Of course, he was a guest that year, but yeah, I got to sit next to him and chat while having dinner. So there's another favorite memory. Guys, games and beer.
All right, Rob.
All right. There's a lot. You know, most years nowadays that I go, it's mostly I spend a lot of my time in making sure things are working. So I do miss a bit of the displays. Like I really sometimes don't even get to walk some of the areas because I'm pretty tied up. That said, you know, the only time I'll ever feel bad that I miss something is missing people that I like to talk to every year. I know I said that before, but it is really a thing. The most important thing is talking to like those few people that you only get to talk to a little bit, and they just have such insight into the industry and have such history. Even like some of the people I talk to are just people who come and visit the room every year, and you just talk about like their memories of the game, but their memories of that game or the memories of that console are so strong that you just enjoy talking to them. And I used to be so into collecting. I mean, it used to be such a big thing at MGC because that was like the big. That's where I used to collect a bunch of the stuff.
You were always right there.
Yeah, and it's just hasn't been as important lately. I'd still like to go to the floor. I still go with you guys, but hanging out with your friends, I think that's the most important part of MGC. And I've really reconfigured my life so I can do a little bit more time doing that part. And, that's why we went. So,
yeah, for me, it's.
I have few FOMOs.
Yeah, there's always FOMO that is the problem.
There's always something.
But there is FOMO, but it's been mentioned. The good thing about this is we've gone from Midwest Gaming Classic was the only game in town, and I like that. That is our base convention. That's where we started out. But now it's been mentioned EverCon, which if you guys haven't been to, is an amazing convention. Great lineup of pretty much everything. 2D Con, has that old school feel.
That's true.
So I can get those fixes I need at those cons. Like Rob, we are busy at that convention. We are working the floor, and it's we'll be there setting up like the rest of you guys. A day or two before, and then the weekend gets away too fast. I hope to see all the usual faces, which has been a little bit more tested over these last few years.
What do you think about the interviews, which we used to do like pretty regularly, like MGC? Like when we first went to MGC, that's all we were doing was interviews.
I know,
and it was actually really cool to do.
Think about it. We've had Charlie from Resident Evil on. We've had Ian from Kitsune Ninja on. I mean, we still do interviews. We just don't get as much time as we used to.
But Ian and I like go to the bar with him.
I know we do. But so yeah. So it's hard to get to that kind of stuff now, and I'm looking forward to hopefully this year having some time to sit down with some people that we have talked to, that we know, get them on the show and have them do some interviews. Because we're running a room, not just doing a podcast there, it gets a little bit difficult sometimes. It's that fine line we walk. We used to just do interviews, and now it's become a much larger thing for us. But this is why, again, we love other shows as well. Midwest Gaming Classic, again, is by far, it's hard to explain. From a standpoint of the way they run the show and everything they do is pretty much money. Dan and Gabby and the whole gang cannot say enough good things about everybody. Chris and Josh and Jason, you guys do amazing work, and we appreciate the fact you let us be part of it. But for me, it still comes down to making those connections, those interviews, those once in a lifetime moments. So again, if there's something I'm looking forward to, it's looking forward to making more of those.
I haven't been interviewed by you guys yet, and I'm
you're gonna have to come to the.
We're at MGC, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
really, let's do one.
Come to come sit down in our room. We will do an interview.
All right.
Yeah, we have actually we've talked about it, and we're doing more interviews this year than we've done in the past. One of the big things is I generally like set up the recording for interviews, so I've been more tied up in just keeping hardware running.
Producer,
it's, it just hasn't happened as much. But this year, this year we've decided to do more interviews. So
I'll track you down. I'll make time.
We're easy to find.
Well, yeah, it's the Garcade, and then your room is the first two rooms I usually encounter when the convention starts Friday night, because that's where the escalator. This is the other thing. They got rid of the polka music coming down the escalator.
What was that about?
I don't know. They got rid of it. There's no music now.
Now there's a memorial where people leave things at the bottom of the escalator.
Yeah.
Do they really? I didn't see that last year.
Yeah, security claims all the beer
God, that's
cans.
great. I was really sad about that. It really took like a lot of the the flavor out of it when they did that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bring polka back.
We'll start a
Yeah,
petition.
here's some grounds that we're looking at right now. See that Atari 800 unit, which I've never seen. I guess I missed that last year. Harley, you're next.
Sorry, I forgot what the question was.
How do you deal with the fear of missing out on something at MGC?
Oh shit, man, that's nonstop. Because the more years you go, the more people you meet, the more things you want to do and catch up to. Especially with the musicians, you know, I want to sit and watch their acts, but it's like, you know, I could spend 4 or 5 hours there, and it's hard to balance it. You know, a lot of these guys I kind of know them, like Carl from Beaker, and they played at my 50th birthday party, so it's like I can't not show up for them, you know. But along the same line, a lot of times the arcade hall is just packed cheek to jowl. You can't get to a game, so you wait for some of those until the after party. But these other ones aren't going to be available in the after party because they're in the special side rooms. You got to go to those when they're open, you know. So you got to kind of schedule it. But since I retired, I've been trying to retract myself from the constructs of time. So your guys' scheduling stuff just doesn't work for me at all. I wander around and have the best time I can wherever I am.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You kind of had to play your pinballs or play the new pinballs Friday night when the crowd's not as big. Because Saturday morning, a few years ago, cross the skywalk and I see a line going literally around the entire outside perimeter of the convention center. It was insane. And I think a record attendance was set that year.
Nice. Oh, hey, I found the name of that guy with the pinball museum or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was Tom. They didn't have a last name. It just said this was in what year? It was 2019. 2019, and it was Tom's Open House.
I thought it was in the 2000s because that's when I remember going over there.
Well, 2019.
He must have resurrected it because I didn't. The one time I went was back in, gosh, it's either the 2000s or very early in the 2010s. And I got.
Well, I know they had it for a few years. I was trying for years to get into it, and that year I finally made it.
I still have this, by the way, for the Guys Games and Beers crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a coaster.
One of our coasters. Yeah, one of the coasters.
Yeah, it's worn.
Was the pinball guy the guy that had video games suck, play pinball instead? Because that was hilarious. He had like a sign that said video games suck, play pinball instead. It was awesome.
I'm not sure.
Oh man. That guy was great.
Yes.
I love video games, but
come
on, you got to recognize craft.
Andy, how do you mitigate missing out on something? The fear. You're muted.
Uh-oh.
Still muted. Something, your mic's out.
All right, I don't know. Better?
There we go.
Good.
Got it. You're back.
You know, I've been going for so long now, I kind of don't worry about it anymore. The first couple of years, I kind of was in a mad rush to see and do everything. I just realized it was kind of like a losing battle, primarily because I was only able to go for one day for so many years. Lately, I've been making more of an effort to go multiple days, and so now I just spread it out. And, you know, I prioritize the panels and seeing certain people that I want to see, and then you know I'll stroll through the vendor hall and I'm not really spending too much time there though these days. But yeah, no, I just I love, especially like going to play consoles that I've never played before in the console museum. Like controllers I've never held, consoles I've never turned on, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I just happy to be there. I don't. If I miss something, I miss something. I don't know. It happens for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I go to the vendor hall and it's just so overwhelming now.
Yes,
We're-
it's a zoo.
I will say this. This year, I have a new 360 camera. I've done walkthrough videos of the con in the past. This will be the first year, and this will probably be the first. I haven't found another one, but I'm going to do a 360 walkthrough throughout the entire convention. So if I don't see something on the walkthrough, on the replay, I can spin the view and see if I can spot what I missed. So this is going to be a game changer. I don't know if anybody else owns one of these, but
That seems like it'll be a really cool watch.
yeah, I think a half hour I can walk through the entire thing, but it might take longer. Maybe at least 45 minutes to an hour. Jeez. All right. Final question on this, and then we'll wrap it up. What do you want added to Midwest Gaming Classic for future years? Because we're on the 25th anniversary. There will be a year 26, or the 26th anniversary, because they skipped 2 years. Jim, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, the competitions are where it's at for me. I was just thinking this year, all the competitions are all console focused. And so I think it'd be nice if there was some arcade stuff. Plus, you and I have talked about this before, and, the Mega Game Championship, they tend to roll out the same thing every year. So I would certainly welcome something, a different flavor of that competition with some other games in there.
I did request, after I won, switching it up, because they did the same games 3 years in a row, and it's time for a new lineup to freshen the challenge a bit. And yes, I want to see an arcade tournament. There's pinball tournaments every year, not arcade. I know Garcade did something with Galaga and Double Speed Pac-Man, but nothing since then. So, all right. Jason?
Well, I guess I'm going to be letting the cat out of the bag here, so you guys are going to hear it here first. One of the things that I had been pulling for many years is coming to fruition this year in the panel room, and that's getting rid of the 4 screens that were put together on the pedestal, and there are segmented screens that are going to come together to form. I believe there's going to be 4 of them that they're also going to be on the stage, on the main stage, and used for various entertainment throughout the weekend. And these segmented they're basically video walls that can be separated and moved around, and they can be all in sequence together. So the panel room is going to get that, so everybody's going to be able to see all the way in the back quite easily now what's on the stage, and same thing on the main stage. So those are new things that are coming that I'm happy to announce that will be at the show this year.
So production value upgrade is pretty much what we're gonna be getting.
Yep.
All right. Josh?
Yeah, so something that I wish MGC would add. So my least favorite parts of any convention is setup and teardown. So
yeah,
I would personally like more time in between setup and teardown. So it'd be really cool if MGC maybe did the preview on a Thursday night and had the full convention Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm not saying, oh, it'd be awesome to have us work more days for the convention. I just like having as much space as possible between setup and teardown. Feels like as soon as MGC starts and it's running, it's like we're already starting to get ready to shut down on Sunday. So
Yeah.
I'd say add a day. Why the hell not?
I've been wishing for it for years, but Dan's kind of held firm to the 2 days. So
Well,
I know
it's pretty expensive to. It's expensive.
That convention.
That's a huge reason why it doesn't happen.
Insane.
I know the Pinball Expo in Chicago. They started Tuesday for the 40th and went all the way to Saturday and the finals of the tournament on Sunday morning. So there's that. That was pretty wild.
I've been a regular attendee of Gen Con since about 2000. Been going there forever. And the one thing about Gen Con is they keep adding prior dates to it, basically. Like if Gen Con starts on a Thursday and goes to Sunday, then people are coming in on a Wednesday. And now Gen Con opens up Wednesday events. And then the new Wednesday became Tuesday and people started coming on Tuesday. And now people are coming in Monday to Monday and just staying the full 7 days, even though the convention technically doesn't start until Thursday. But I don't know. I see MGC. It's growing into this thing now. They're getting close to 40,000 in attendance. This is a type of scenario that I think they could add days and make a lot of money. So I hope they do at some point.
And here's the wrestling show, which I pretty much last year I only walked over to watch one match. I was just like, I did go out of my way to go say hello to Hornswoggle, but I couldn't watch the wrestling because it was just all the stuff going on. I just couldn't get into it.
All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they do 4 sessions of this. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So it's going all weekend. I can't. Yeah. Who do I leave off with? Harley, go next. What would you like to see added?
I would say the same thing. A full day on Friday seems very doable. And I don't know if they would pull in enough revenue is the thing. A lot of people don't want to buy the passes unless, they've made some kind of package deal where people would get the full 3 days. They might show up or get more people on a Friday. But, still a work day for people, or they're traveling to come in from out of town or whatnot. So hard to say, but I think there's enough interest there. They could probably do it. What else would be nice? Maybe some more food options in the food court. Maybe a little more versatility to some of the choices. Otherwise, every year they do such a good job at putting stuff together. There's enough new stuff to find out and explore. I'm usually just busy trying to keep up with that and worry about what's next. But yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. I think more time is what we need. More time in a day, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much have to take the day off Friday, and I'm traveling up the entire day Friday. I know in previous years I would come up Thursday, play at the Galloping Ghost for that day, and then drive up Friday morning. But I've switched that up a bit because I got cats and I got to deal with them. And
bring them along.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, right.
They got those little backpacks now.
I don't think they allow cats in the whole. Unless they're service animals, but mine aren't service animals. Plus,
they got those little backpacks with the bubble in them. I saw them there at the anime convention. Kids were using them. I don't know if they had live animals in them though. I guess I didn't check that.
Yeah, I don't want service. If it was a service dog, it's one thing, but no, cats are too much of a hassle. They don't like riding in the car. Certainly, mine don't. Where did I leave off? Andy.
I can echo a lot of the sentiments that are already brought up. Like the food options, I've always found that there was just, there could have been more just because the crowds are so big. It's almost like there's a guaranteed line wherever you go. And I after a little while you get tired of eating convention food, so maybe variety of some kind. I don't really have any concrete suggestions, but maybe revisit that. But also I would definitely do a third day. I think anybody who's traveling to this for 2 days, I don't think they would mind just taking off one more day and making it a full 3-day weekend. With so much to do and see, I think that it would surprise you. I think that more people would be down for it than you think.
I do buy the very important gamer package every single year and get the goodie bag that goes with it. And Hornswoggle does a choke slam. Can you believe it? By the way, as big of a box office bomb that Snow White was, Hornswoggle still wanted the role in the movie. He would have liked to have had the role in the movie, but oh well. Harley has some pictures. I know it. I got so Harley shot me a message about pictures from this pinball place. I do have a full walkthrough video, although I was told I couldn't post it of that walkthrough. But then the owner posted his own, so go figure. Yeah, I'll take the pictures if you want to send them. Oh, there's Kit. Oh yeah, the classic movie cars are there. Let's see. Guys, games, and beer, what would you like to see added for future years?
Have you guys seen there was a guy who set up basically a classic video game store, and it was a museum.
World of Nintendo.
And
World?
last year, did you see him? He was
Nintendo
right
World.
across the hall from us.
World of Nintendo.
Well, from a Nintendo.
Yes.
That's Andy Cunningham's booth, and I believe he's going to be back.
Yeah, I kind of wish I want more. I want more of that. I want to see, like, you know how what was it? What was the name of that? There was a display at the Milwaukee Museum. How it was like a street.
Yeah.
I want to see
Streets of
about.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see about that much of that. I really loved it. Yeah, I was showing I was showing my son that because as he's grown up and as he's gotten older, I mean, video game stores aren't like this anymore. And this is such immersion into what it was like. I absolutely loved it. I could not get enough of that room, and thank God it was close to us, so I had time to visit it. It was the most amazing thing I think I've seen in a while. It really brought me back to at least the 90s, early 90s, and it was so great. Video game stores aren't like this anymore. You can go to modern ones, but it doesn't look the same as it did back in the day when it was brand new.
It would be nice if they had
It had that fresh look. It was amazing. I really loved it.
I will say, what a stop I made before getting to the Wisconsin Center and checking in a hotel room. I would stop at Make Sense.
Oh God, yes. Good call.
It is half the size it was years ago, but it's practically stepping into a gaming museum there.
They're pretty awesome. I love those guys.
90s
Yeah.
all the way. That is a freaking awesome place to stop at.
They're also not overpriced. They've
Yeah.
given me a bunch of deals over the years. They show up at local flea markets and such, and they're always really nice guys.
Yeah.
And they do
So for me,
vend
guys,
here.
So we do a lot of shows in Minneapolis, Convergence, 2DCon, which we've talked about on the show already. They have an interesting kind of tradition up there. They do what's called party rooms. And this is something I think to get back to the old community that MGC used to be. At night, after the convention closes, they have private hotel rooms that set up parties, different themes. We've done we've done a lot in Minneapolis. We've done a dive bar. We've done a Japanese izakaya. So literally at night, after the con's over, the hotel opens up rooms, and actually God, what am I trying to forget the name of the con in Milwaukee that did the same thing? It'll come back to me as I'm going. But
I don't recall.
I kind of miss this whole thing where it kind of brings that sense of community back to it. People can wander from room to room, drinking, talking about gaming. We've had some great experiences up in Minneapolis doing that. It's something I'd actually like to see a Midwest Gaming Classic. Okay, the dead. We won't talk about the dead body on the toilet. Okay, we're not talking about that, Rob. But we've had some amazing experiences up there. It's kind of it brings back that sense of community to this kind of thing. The problem with the convention center is that they have rules and regulations that you just that you can't get around.
He was not dead.
No, we woke him up, but he seemed like
that was the worst call I ever got from you guys.
He was kind of like
yeah. Last year, the convention center put a kibosh on the after party that Guys, Games, and Beers usually has.
Yes,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we've made arrangements with the hotel. We're taking over one of their bars that night, and the after party has now been officially sanctioned and moved over there.
And we have never, ever had a suspected dead person at MGC.
Not at MGC, but maybe it's...
Let's just keep it there.
Okay. But
we'll just keep it there.
We may have had a possible dead body in one of our rooms at one time. Just saying.
No ghosts.
So, but it's something I would like to see Midwest Gaming Classic think about doing. I think, it brings back that sense of community. Sometimes with a convention, again, we did over 40,000 people last year. It's hard to get that sense of community. Yeah, I'll split it. It's hard to get that sense of community, and I think that would help bring back that sense of community. The after parties, we're mingling with other people. You get to mingle with some of the people who are attending as lecturers and speakers, as well as attendees. That's always something we've prided ourselves with our after parties, is getting people who are just coming for the sake of coming and people who are there as, panelists, whatever, all in one room in a more relaxed environment.
I think for last year, we should probably also credit the hotel that allowed us to at least throw some.
Bar.
I mean, they sanctioned it. It was okay. And we actually were able to at least have some people over there.
Right. But it's a chance to do that, to get that mingling. And again, not that the official sanctioned after parties are amazing, but sometimes you want a quiet space where you can talk to people and actually get to know them. And that's always been something we strive for with our after parties. And I notice the same thing when I go to the after parties in Minneapolis, Convergence, 2D Con. Those after parties are meant for mingling, and that's kind of a nice thing.
All right. I got everybody. Yes. All right. Final observations before we get out of here. Or any discussion you want to bring up with the other guests.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to miss you, Jason.
Oh, thank you.
Just saying, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me here.
Oh.
Yeah, things video game stage, and that's where I was stuck at for quite a bit of this.
Yeah, things came up, and unfortunately, I've had to part ways with MGC. It's all on a personal level, so. But I'm going to miss you guys too, and maybe some year I'll be able to come back as a guest and say hi.
Well, you're always welcome with us. Anytime you want to come, just hang out.
All right. I will welcome that for sure.
Anything else? Any other?
I was just gonna say I'm really excited to get down there again, and if I haven't crossed paths with either of you guys before, I know Andy, I've bumped into you a bunch, and Jason, I think I've talked to you, and of course the Guys, Games, and Beers. We've been there every year, but if anybody else, if I haven't interacted with you guys yet, I hope I get to bump into you guys and share some stories and chat a little bit about gaming and whatnot. So very excited, can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking at vendor Arts Alley There's Jeff Lee, and yeah,
Yep.
the escalators.
Oh, have you guys checked out the tattooist that they have?
Yeah, my
As a
wife got a
vendor?
tattoo from her a couple of years ago of a llama, and it looks like it's like
Oh, that's awesome.
a stuffed animal, but it also has it looks like it's glitter as well. So she does a really good job.
She's great. Yeah, Alderon Inc. That's Cassie. She's fantastic. I am already the first scheduled person to get a tattoo in 2 weeks, so I'm excited for that.
Now we got a sword fighting section. I do remember this.
What kind of tattoo you gonna get, Josh?
I'm getting King Hippo, of course.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Okay. Well, go ahead. And I'll just go around the room and plug your stuff. Jim, you anything you want to plug?
No, nothing to plug. Just looking forward to another good show.
Jason?
Well, I plugged it at the top of the 2 hours ago, and that's my article in the 50th issue of Old School Gamer magazine of the brief history of Pac-Man.
Yep.
And then in the 51st issue, I'll have a full history of the Midwest Gaming Classic. So look forward to that in issue 51, which should be coming out this month prior to the show.
All right. Josh, you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, sure. Just something real brief. If anybody wants to continue the conversation with me across any of these avenues, I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky as @ Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore as is the most important underscore on all the internet. I stream on Twitch on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 9 p.m.
I better follow you then and give you the raid sometime. Andy, do you have anything you want to plug?
I guess I could just plug my blog. I've been writing a blog for about 10 years now. It's retrogamerrandomness.com, and I write reviews, hardware reviews, lists, things I like about gaming, etc. I'll just put the link in the chat.
Yep,
So.
we need that. Here we go. Copy, paste. I got to put this in the Twitch chat and the regular Facebook chat. There we go. Harley?
Plug your mom.
Ha! Cute.
Nice.
No, man, I'm just looking forward to seeing you guys. I recognize some of your faces, but I don't think we have ever sat down and played a game together. So I'll try to get that in there this year. All right.
Hell yeah.
I do like doing the best of 7 challenges. Guys, Games and Beer, you got a website. I know that. Have to. You got a Facebook page.
Yeah, Harley, you need to come by us for a beer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Harley,
Yeah,
come
you-
and drink with us, dude.
Yeah, you need to come drink with us.
I visit your room every year.
Well,
Dude.
make sure
Yeah.
hunt us down.
I am now going to recognize you, and you will be hunted for beer.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Challenge accepted.
So give it.
Guys Games and Beer is at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. That connects you to everything Guys Games and Beer. If you want to check out Retro Rob Plays Everything, thanks to the stupidest branding on earth, www.youtube.com/RetroRob with a 0 in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, you can check us out. We're on every Tuesday night doing live feeds. So
we do. Well, yeah, most Tuesdays we do a live feed. We're available on all the podcasts.
Yeah,
places.
we are on your
Just Guys
podcast
Games and Beer.
places.
Yep,
And this is
that's
it.
our site, which is newly revamped.
Yeah, look
So
at
that it's actually
All
up to date
fancy.
most of the time. I
We
spent
have
at
to
least
dig through this
20
thing.
minutes on
Yeah, ChipperCon was April Fool's Day. Where's this at? Mad with Powerfest.
Oh, Mad with
Oh, that's
Power.
in Madison.
Guys, if you want heavy metal music, arcade games, and a lot of Guys Games and Beer, come to Mad with Power and join us in June in Madison, Wisconsin. It's literally 2 nights of heavy metal bands and every arcade game you can imagine and console. We take over the entire 2nd floor of a place called the Sylvie in Madison, Wisconsin. Some friends of ours, Brian, who plays in our room, you may have seen an early video, is a member of that band. Great heavy metal music, bands from all over the world, and us.
And we're right next to the bar.
And by the way, Garcade is there, and Brad's what's Brad's arcade? Jesus, why am I blanking?
What
now?
I'm
Yeah.
blanking because
Yeah.
yeah,
But a whole bunch of arcades
Some old.
set up their machines. We set up a whole bunch of consoles and machines. It's really an amazing time.
yeah, a bunch of
First weekend in June,
Where's that?
Madison, Wisconsin.
All right.
Yeah, it's called Mad with Power. We bring a whole bunch of gear out there. We play a whole bunch of video games. We listen to a whole bunch of great music.
Don't that one? Brian's band plays out there too, right? Lords of the Underworld or
Was it
something.
Trident? They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Lords of the Trident. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lords
they're
of the
great.
Trident. That's it. Yeah.
All right. I think that was everybody, unless I missed somebody. If not, I want to thank everybody who participated in the roundtable. Some of you guys, I gotta have you back. I know Jim Patzer, I've had you on a few times, but Jim was the only repeat guest out of this panel, so I like to get some new faces in here once in a while. Well, I want to get new faces every week. Anyway.
I noticed you said some, and I'm just trying to pick out which one of us you don't want.
It's got to be us.
You'll find out.
I have no idea.
Maybe
just-
we should considering the
That's
rest
the wrong
old faces.
word, but yeah. Anyway, I like to get some new people every week. Anyway,
New people or nude people?
New
Yeah, I
people.
new
people.
gamers I've not ever spoken to, because there's a lot of gamers out there that their stories have never officially have not been told, or they've gotten lost to time. And that's why I kind of started this thing, because I had my own stories to tell. So kind of why I wanted to do this roundtable. So, all right, gentlemen. Thank you for coming on to the Crimeycade, and maybe I'll see you around the arcade soon. I know Jim Patzer's been at Galpin Ghost. The rest of you, yeah, if you have not been to Galpin Ghost Arcade, you need to make a weekend out of it.
Oh yeah, it's only 50 minutes from my house.
Yeah, if you haven't been, you better get over there.
Oh no, I've been there plenty of times.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night. And
Cheers, all.
Hey,
You guys. Laters.
all right.
Take care.
All right. Let's get everybody off. Everybody up. All right. So, a few more things before we get out of here. I got a few more slides to show off. There's been a few news items. And I got to get this back up on screen and get to the appropriate slide. So let's see. Few news items before I get out. Present invite. I gotta reshare the screen. Super Mario Galaxy movie. Yeah, you've heard. The critics hate the movie. The audiences love the movie. So it's made quite a bit of money, like the first movie did. But the critics are kind of a really odd bunch of people. It seems like they want certain type of content. I don't know why. It's like some of these critics aren't watching a movie to be entertained. They're watching a movie to get validation for something, or they want the movie to convey a message to them that they agree with, not just random fun and entertainment. There's some people who want validation or representation in the film, and it's like, you're not watching this for entertainment. So to those critics, I say, if you're looking for validation and representation and you're mad because this movie didn't give it to you or any other movie, I mean, Mario Brothers is not your movie. Your movie is Bros. but you didn't show up for this either. So I don't know what to tell you. Disney has lost the crown to Universal. Speaking of Mario Bros, I would like to make it down to Universal Studios in Florida. I've only been down to Florida for Disney World when I won the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge National Championship. But I would like, being one of those legacy champions, I'd like to go to this at some point in the future. Problem is, I don't like to fly. I've flown in an airplane before, but my fears get worse every year. Every time I get on the plane, and it's going to be tough for me. I'd have to take the train or drive, but I'd like to go to this theme park. Another live service game is closing less than a month after release. You know, the public at large is pretty much tired of new live service games. If they're not already playing the one that they've been with for quite some time, they don't want to do more of them. So the Concord curse has claimed another victim. The Cube only lasted 3 weeks, and it's closing in 3 weeks. We're done with live service. Give us those single-player experiences again. That's what we want. And to have fun and not have this, several month-long campaign gameplay. Because I only got so much time and they created these games because they thought everybody was going to be staying at home all the time following COVID. And, chatter about game consoles being a lot more expensive because of memory prices. Well, look at this. You want to install 512 gigabytes of RAM in a desktop computer. This kit right here is the most expensive one I've found. $19,000. $19,000, and this, and I don't know why you need that much memory. I mean, unless you're running artificial intelligence on your local PC, but good grief. I mean, this is an 8 gig chip, and these ain't cheap either lately. But I saw a picture of Micro Center selling 64 gigabytes of RAM for $4,100. Well, this beats that for quite a bunch. Insanity. Yeah, I ain't plugging down that much money. That's about as much as a car. New house highs and world records. And I was up there at Galpin Ghost Arcade over the weekend. Was only able to claim 3 scores. Well, one of them got taken from me as of today. But tried to take the score on Rayforce, and I was assuming the score is much lower than what it is now, that I was chasing after Matt Walter's score of 926, but did not know that Brandon Travis, King Cam, took the house high, breaking 1.1 million. I did break $1 million, but I was 60K short. Brad Bach also had the inaugural high score for Big Fighter, which is a shoot 'em up. I tried for that one too, but I didn't know what the high was. And of course, Oscar. I played it once at Draftcade in Kansas City. I got on that one. I ran up 160K on that, but Andrew passed that with 179. Derek Lawson also made a appearance at Galvin Ghost, traveling in from Minnesota, running up 6.8 million, which took 15 hours. Amazing. Matthew Avery continues to do best his Daytona USA score. I took Kairos and Tumble Pop from Andrew. Back from Andrew. 446K for Kairos, which I should have played the last time I was up there when I came up empty that weekend. Because it only took a couple of tries and I got it. Made it to the fourth boss. I'm not done with that game. Tumble Pop, I almost 1CC'd. As one more level of the boss run, I would have had the 1CC, but I fell the boss before then. And Nora Bale is back at the Galby Ghost, taking high scores with a new house high at X-Men Children of the Atom. But there's more. Andrew Owasco took increased his world record on eSWAT, breaking 2.5 million. Andrew took the inaugural score on Pioneer Balloon with 260,000. Tony DeRose, almost 1.3 million on My Hero by Sega. Jeff Lucas, 1cc DD Crew. And Peon increased his score on King of the Monsters. And Mossy Zagopian took back his Dragon Spirit score from Andrew, 193. Mossy's held the score for 12 years straight. The score was never really challenged. I started playing it because, that house high looked deceptively low. Well, not so easy to take. You had to go halfway through the game to get Dragon Spirit. It is not an easy shoot 'em up. So, and the power rankings move back to 10th place, get out of 11th, which is where I did not want to be. But I've lost one of my scores already. So, April 18th, Como Retro, which I will not be able to make this year because I'll have to film a wrestling show up in Abingdon, Columbia, Missouri, from 10 to 4. It's in, let's see, yeah, it's a week from now. So, one-day convention there. Already covered Midwest Gaming, so St. Joseph Civic Arena, May 2nd and 3rd in Missouri. Don't think I'm making that one, unfortunately. Combo Breaker, Memorial Day weekend. Good grief, $100 for a pass to get in there, and that's just to get in, not to play the tournaments. You gotta pay $125 for that. Memorial Day weekend starting Friday the 22nd through the 24th. I believe Galloping Ghost will have a presence there, and they'll bring back Dark Presence. But is the game finished? That's the question. When is Dark Presence going to be finished? That's still an unanswered question. I'm still waiting for the documentary to come out, and the ending was shot at Combo Breaker. Illinois Game Con, which I will be there, June 6th in Bloomington, Illinois. I went there for 2 days last time around, and uh-oh. Looks like I got something going on now. Oh, boy. Gosh, I'm going to have to deal with drama in a minute. Anyway. Next week, my guest will be Tim McVeigh. He was the star of Man vs. Snake, and I will be taking the week off of the 23rd to deal because I'll be loading up for the Midwest Gaming Classic. So, be a fun time, and this will be a fun little discussion I'll have with Tim McVeigh. He hasn't done a pod in a few years, but now he is retired from the classic gaming community. He's got a new hobby, and he'll let us know about this, what he's doing now. And I kind of have a little bit of familiarity with the hobby he has picked up. All right, that will do it for this edition of the Crimeycade. I will be rating a channel, and let's see, throw this up here. So who am I rating tonight? Get this thing. I don't know the volume here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the roundtable discussion. I'll see you next week. Ooh, I think we're gonna go with somebody new here. Who's in the retro community? Yeah, I'm gonna go by category. Let's see, pick somebody interesting. Oh, I lost it. Darn it. Anyway, till next time. That's not what I want either. Looking for a game that's interesting. Well, we lost the Gares Double Dragon, so we're going to raid somebody who is playing Double Dragon right now. 1 coin only, and looks like he's playing the Double Dragon 3 for the NES, so we're going to raid him. Until next time, I'm the Mexican Firefighter. Have a good night, everybody.